Yo, what's up guys? It's Guilty. I got another guide video for you today. This one's going to be actually over Orisa. I know I said in the last video that I'm going to be doing Pharah, but I figured with Orisa coming out into competitive very shortly, I might as well go over a couple things. There really isn't much to Orisa as far as everything goes. Her right click is good for a lot of different things, and we'll show you some of those things. Her Fortified, there's a lot of things it counters, which we'll go over that as well. But as far as a tank, we really have to wait and see how it kind of plays out in the meta, because there's a lot of things that she is good for, but with her low health and her shield not being very high HP, I don't know how useful she is currently, but we'll have to wait and see. But anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. So first things first, I'm going to talk about Orisa's Fortify. Basically what this does, it negates any kind of thing that moves her around the map, so like a concussion blast from a Pharah, a Reinhardt pin, and even negates a lot of the CCs that you can take. So you know, McCree stun, honestly, May freeze. Any of those things are countered by Orisa's Fortify. And like I said, keep in mind that when you're using Fortify, you're actually going to take less damage. So it's very good to use it when you're engaged in a 1v1 or something like that. But yeah, so keep that in mind when you're playing Orisa, because it's something it's very important when using her. So the second thing I'm going to talk about is Orisa's shield. It has 900 HP and it stays on the map for 20 seconds. But the one big thing that I want to talk about is it's not just for shielding your team. It's actually, since it can be launched across the map, you can kind of use it to force players to move to different positions. So say there's a Widowmaker up top on the spawn point of King's Row, you can actually launch it all the way across the map, and you'll even see right here I kind of have it on the left hand side near alley. So it's a good not space creator, but it can force people out of position because they can't shoot through the shield, so they have to move in front of it, or they have to just move completely to a different position. So keep that in mind when playing Orisa. Another thing I wanted to test is the damage that she does to shields, because I imagine with a 150 clip, you'd be able to do quite a bit of damage to the shield. Obviously, after unloading 150 rounds in the shield, we found out that Orisa did 1800 damage to Reinhardt shield. So with like a Roadhog or something like that, you actually can break shield pretty quick. I wouldn't consider like a high damage by herself. Like I wouldn't, Roadhog breaks shield really quick, but she does definitely quite a bit of damage over time. So keep that in mind when playing with like a Roadhog or something like that. So this next thing is probably everyone's favorite about Orisa, her mini Zarya ult. If you watched my last video, I talked about how McCree stun can be used to get an easy Reinhardt ult. The same goes for Orisa's right click. So if you detonate it above the Reinhardt, you pull the Reinhardt up in the air and whoever else with it. If the Reinhardt ult's under the shield, you're able to get a pretty easy Reinhardt ult. There's obviously a lot of other uses for this. You can be used like as a mini Zarya ult with a tracer bomb, so you can kind of pull everyone together. It takes a little coordination. It's a little bit harder than just a Zarya ult, and as you'd expect, it's not as good as a Zarya ult, but it's still kind of like a thing you can do because tracer bomb comes up so quick. You can kind of rely on the Orisa to use your right click to pull everyone together. Another good thing, if you play on maps like Ilios, or maps where there's obviously environmental kills, Orisa's right click can be used to pull people off the map. So that's something to keep in mind when playing Orisa. The cooldown on it, I think it's like 8 or 12 seconds, I can't remember exactly. So keep that in mind, make sure you're getting value off of it, but it's not necessarily something you just can't spam. So the next thing we're going to talk about is Orisa's ult, and basically what it is an AoE damage boost that goes on the map. It is destroyable by the team. It stays up on the map for 15 seconds. But one thing I wanted to test here is if you put it on a movable object, if it moves with it, and sure enough it does. It does have a pretty far reach, so I think personally that it's not as good to put it on the payload, just because the payload's such a hectic part of the map. It gets destroyed easily, so if you are going to put it on it, I would have to say a Reinhardt protected, or even put your shield in front of it. I'm not sure if it stacks with mercy damage boost. I personally think the ult on Orisa is kind of weak, at least right now. I also think Orisa in general is kind of weak because she's very easy to kill. She's 2-shot by Widowmaker headshot, 100% charge, so it's something to keep in mind because she is so weak. I personally don't see a big use for her currently. I think she does need some tweaking, but I do think she's the idea of the character is pretty cool. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. I have a Pharah one coming out as well. I figured I'd do this one since today, at least as I'm recording this, is the day that Orisa comes out into competitive. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.